We'll take a close look at these pictures now because this isn't a landfill on the edge of a city. This is an elephant inside one of Karnataka's most ecologically sensitive forest landscapes, searching through piles of plastic waste just to find something to eat. And for years, we've become used to seeing stray cattle feeding on garbage. But when one of the world's largest wild animals is forced to forage in human trash, it tells us something far more disturbing because this story isn't really about one particular elephant. It's about what we've done to the wildlife and this elephant's home. The viral video from Karnataka's Male Mahadeshwara Hills, the Hills, has sparked outrage across the country. After lakhs of devotees visited the famous pilgrimage site, mountains of plastic bags, disposable plates, food waste, and bottles, they're always left behind. That garbage, it doesn't stay on the roadside. It spills into the forest. And then, of course, the forest pushes back. Wild elephants, they're not attracted to plastic. They're drawn by leftover food, the salts, the organic waste that's mixed with it. In the process, they unknowingly swallow plastic that can block their digestive system, poison them, and even kill them. And what's worse is that this is not an isolated incident. In Assam, earlier this year, an elephant died with its stomach reportedly packed with plastic. In Kerala and Tamil Nadu, elephants have repeatedly been seen feeding at garbage dumps near forests. Researchers have even found plastic fragments deep inside elephant dung collected from protected forests, proof that our waste is now traveling into the heart of the wildlife habitats. So, the question goes beyond one particular viral video. It's about whether India's forests are slowly becoming extensions of our dumping grounds. And can pilgrimage, the tourism, and the conservation truly coexist? Why are plastic disposal rules collapsing in ecologically fragile zones? Who is accountable when wildlife starts surviving on our garbage? And perhaps the biggest question of all, if elephants are now adapting to garbage instead of forests, are we witnessing the beginning of a dangerous change in the relationship between humans and the wildlife? With us on the broadcast, Mr. Anil Sood, environmentalist, and Akash Bisht, who's a wildlife expert. Mr. Bisht, let's get the snowball rolling here. We're talking about this wildlife video. This is not of today or yesterday. This is about a couple of weeks back. But it warrants a discussion. It warrants a thorough processed discussion and discourse. This viral video, it shows the elephant searching through heaps of plastic, waste, food, salts. I mean, from an elephant's behavioral perspective, what does this essentially tell us? Is it simply hunger that's driving this elephant? Or is it evidence that we as humans have fundamentally altered this natural coexistence between humans and wildlife?
We have to blame the humans. It's as simple as that. We need to have better policies to deal with garbage, and especially at such eco-sensitive zones. There has to be a procedure. It just can't be dumped in a protected, sphere. So it has to be managed. And apart from that, the tourism, as you mentioned, does add to it. And it is. So tourism also has to be regulated, whether it is in, protected areas or elsewhere, because there are several other instances in other big national parks where such temples and have caused a lot of ecological imbalance, you might say, because animals have stopped frequenting that area because so many people go through that area. And then this is elephants forage through the forest. So if they see something like this, they are, they are not intelligent enough to know that it's plastic. So they're just foraging, and they find something, some food, they will keep looking. You look at Nilgais in Delhi. They're like, all of them come out of Sanjay One and they're eating next to the dhabas, all the waste that is being thrown there.
Yeah,
So
it is a sad sight. And, how about we take time here, Mr. Bish, to really tell the viewers what we're doing to this good old wise tusker. I mean, elephants, they're attracted to food, not plastic in particular, but they end up digesting this plastic that comes along with the food that they're trying to forage. What kind of long-term health consequences do these big animals go through? Let's tell the viewers what we're doing to this wild animal.
Yeah, as you see, in Delhi and other parts, cows, they consume a lot of plastic. And then a lot of cows, their digestive system just gets stuck. They can't they can't eat, they can't defecate. So tons and tons of plastic is found in cows in Delhi. If you, whenever there have been surgeries that have been performed, so elephants would have a similar fate. You know, if we keep dumping our plastic into these eco-sensitive zones, then elephants will certainly have a similar future, and which will be, yeah, which is where the government and the other civil society organizations, they come in and they try and address this situation. And also people have to be, you know, it is the people who have to be taught about this, that you just cannot litter anywhere. That mindset has to change. That forest doesn't mean that you eat here, have a picnic, and just throw all your garbage here.
But
Because
like we've been seeing in the past, mindset doesn't change that easy. Mr. Sood, how about you come in on this? This incident, it happened near one of Karnataka's most sensitive forest landscapes and ecological zones after a large influx of pilgrims, just like Mr. Bisht was pointing out. Does this expose a larger failure now in terms of how we manage our waste, how we manage our tourism, how we manage religious footfall in ecological fragile zones? I mean, is it because of a lack of enforcement? Is it because of a lack of awareness? What's really the catch here, and how do we, prime this concern up?
Kabir, I am sorry to say, there are laws, there are rules, but which are only existing on paper, not on ground.
Yep.
These are not enforced. Number one. Number two, our forest areas are shrinking. That is why elephants now are straying outside their habitat. Today morning only, I had been to Hathi Gaon at Jaipur, which houses about 85 elephants. And I saw the area spick span, clear of plastic, and it's all forest area, privately managed. Now the moot question arises, when government is managing, it has all the paraphernalia, it has all the people around, it has all the authorities, then why they are comatose? Now, religion, there are laws about plastic also, which plastic can be used, which plastic cannot be used. Who is enforcing that law also? And once the government knows that plastic is bad, its disposal is irresponsible, provided we responsibly dispose of plastic, fine, there is no harm in it. But once we know that we are irresponsible so far as disposal of plastic is concerned, why it is allowing manufacture of plastic?
Yeah.
Because the government gets revenue and it's not bothered. Government's left hand doesn't know what right hand is doing. I had been watching for donkey's years now. Nowadays, you can see even in while during morning walk, I find monkeys also, foraging through dustbins.
Yeah.
Why? Because we have snatched their habitats.
Yeah.
We have entered into their habitats. Cities have been expanded within their habitats. So, first and most important question is, where is the enforcement? And why the forest area and their habitat is being reduced under the garb of development? We are not developing, we are heading for a disaster. You will be surprised to know that the dung found inside forest, there are two areas. One is dung inside forest and one is dung at the boundary of the forest. As per JNU study, the dung found inside forest contains double of the plastic contents than what is found it outside, which means that they are also foraging plastic inside forest too, which is very serious. And all authorities all over India, I'm not saying one particular state, all authorities, we are having white elephants in the government.
Yeah.
They are eating away the resources of these animals, which cannot even speak for themselves.
So then, Mr.
Over to
Sood,
you.
I must ask you this because, we're seeing reports of more elephants, more wildlife animals that are entering these garbage dumps. You gave us the example of cows. You gave us the example of, the monkeys. I've personally seen, a microplastic and reports of the same in some large birds as well. Are we witnessing a dangerous behavioral shift where wild animals, they're beginning to associate with human food? And with the ever shrinking
Yes.
forest that you spoke about, I mean,
Yes.
this paints a really grim picture, because we need our ecology to be absolutely healthy for the humans and their survival as well.
It is not dung, elephant's dung, which is used, or it is not something which can be thrown away. Monkeys survive on elephant's dung. Fly bees survive on elephant dungs. Then crows survive on elephant dung. Then elephant dung is also very good biodiversity, protector. These elephants eat grass, plants, fruits. So seeds also pass through their digestive system and ultimately come out of as a
Yeah.
dung. Now, what happens? Elephant doesn't stay in one area. It eats grass, fruits, or vegetables or bark in one area, goes far away, and then dung is passed on. So the dung also acts as a protective layer for the seeds. So from parent tree, the trees are growing somewhere else,
Yeah,
far away
the
from parent
dispersal of
tree.
seeds, and that's where the elephant plays the role of a transport. And imagine this
Yes,
protective layer now filled with plastic as well, filled with
plastic.
microplastic. And this is ultimately a wildlife issue, isn't it, Mr. Bisht? Because one would say this is a waste management issue. What's your assessment here? Because people are also talking about a governance failure. Mr. Sood says he's been seeing this for donkey years. What immediate steps, as a wildlife expert, you would expect from the authorities, especially around pilgrimage sites, around, the forest fringes where the dungs have reportedly shown that there is microplastic involved in that dropping. Is this becoming the new normal, and how do we curb this or nip this right in the bud?
It has become a normal. So we have gone far beyond nipping in the bud stage. If it is in the dung of wild elephants inside reserves, then it is a question of deep trouble in that sense. Because see, the ecosystem, how it works is that the elephant or any other prey for a predator, we have mostly all the cats in India. So then it enters there because they are part of this food cycle. There is a food chain, and then these predators depend on these animals. So when they eat them, or the plastic is also entering them. So yeah, eventually it's a wildlife crisis in that sense that you don't want your animals to also have microplastics in their body.
I think
You
it's a
know,
mixture of all of it, Mr. Bish. You see, it's a wildlife crisis, it's a governance failure. And my question to you would be, where do you think accountability breaks down? Because if this is a collection of all these kind of crises, do you think accountability also is breaking down at the local body level, at the temple authority level, at the forest departments? I mean, it's a fiasco that is collective of all of them together.
yes, it's negligence, and on everybody's part. All the agencies that you mentioned, that they are not implementing it. If the forest department goes ahead and finds the temple or just finds individuals who are littering, that would set an example.
Yep.
People will, the forest department, the police, if you check, if you go into a reserve, your bags are checked so that there are no plastic
Yeah, yeah.
in your bag. So similarly, we have to ensure that these measures, because they are strict, but they have to be implemented, because this is a doomsday scenario that, and I agree with Sir as well that habitat shrinking. We have to protect the habitat that they have, because if the cities and villages start moving into forests, then eventually this will lead to that crisis.
You're absolutely right. And this conflict of man and animal is the reason for so many zoological based viruses as well. It's the problem of how we're eating into their spaces. They're not essentially coming here. Today, people are honking horns on, stray cattle on the road, but they don't understand it's us who've built roads exactly where they were supposed to be grazing. So my final question, final 30 seconds, Mr. Sood, I'm running out of time here. Every time a similar viral video comes out, it shocks us. We, feel pity over the animal. We feel pity over, the forest area, and then we move on. There is outrage for a few days, but then the issue fades away. In terms of systemic reforms, I mean, the cameras are pointing towards you. What do you have to say? Your message to everybody out there. Final 30 seconds.
The authorities have to come out of the comatose state. The governments have to take it seriously. Whenever such videos are there, they just ignore as one of the videos. For them, it hardly makes any difference because it doesn't impact them. It doesn't impact their pocket. It doesn't impact their career. It doesn't impact their conscience even. Unless accountability, responsibility, and policy of punishment is introduced, things cannot improve.
Okay.
I don't find any hope in improvement unless policy of punishment is initiated among the bureaucracy.
Yeah, punitive measures. We need examples. We need punitive measures. And the tragedy isn't that one elephant searched or foraged through garbage or this one particular video that we're looking at. The tragedy is that we've made garbage part of the wildlife's habitat. And that's the most saddest thing that can happen right now. We can only hope that this video will change something. Otherwise, just like my panelists are suggesting, it's a doomsday kind of a scenario. On that note, Mr. Sood and Mr. Bisht, many thanks for taking out the time and helping us put this story really into perspective and what's really happening here. Many thanks.